tell me who to love. Don't tell me who to kiss. Don't tell me that there's something wrong, 'cause I feel like this. I know what's in my heart, and that should be enough. So don't tell me no. Don't tell me who to love.
And the debate and the dialogue and the peer pressure that was put on this one issue trumped all of that. And that's a sad indictment on how we look at policy within our city.
But the other reason I brought it is because it's a bittersweet remembering, like when a people were classified as not being eligible to be married, and those people were my people. Those people were African Americans who were not allowed to get married during the enslavement period. And so what they did was they created their own brand of respect. They jumped the broom and they'd say, well, you may not recognize us, but we recognize us.
All right.
And I are going to jump the broom, then we're going to go in and we're going to register with the understanding that that's not marriage any more than jumping the broom is. But we're going to keep fighting for the day when we can get married right here in Cleveland, in Ohio.
You should do that thing that promotes family, keeps people together. So therefore, it didn't matter to me whether or not I want to see or not, because you have to do what God wants you to do.
Yes.
I am so happy today. I'm so filled with joy because you guys are all here, and I can feel it. I am so apologizing.
Thank you so much. Too many times we have stood together in scenes like this, reacting, begging for some crumbs. But today we don't do that. We say thank you, and we acknowledge that we've taken a step in the right direction. So today is a day, this is a historical day. And here's the thing. When I think about our history, when I think about our heroes like Harvey Milk, the drag queens who fought at Stonewall, when I think about the nameless, faceless people who've been victims of hate crimes, when I think about the courage and the sacrifice they made, the thousands and thousands of people who came out and lived their lives honestly, when they were risking their very lives. I have to ask myself, would I have had the courage 50 years ago, 75 years ago, 100 years ago? And without them, I know we wouldn't be standing here. And they are our heroes. They are our family. They came before us.
You know, I was just walking down Lakeside Avenue and I heard there was a rally for some individuals who were interested in some pretty basic fundamental things. Respect.
Yes.
So it wasn't too, when I heard there were people here for equality and respect and equal treatment, I thought this is a group of people I want to spend a few minutes with. That was a pretty easy call. You know, as a member of the Board of County Commissioners, I didn't have to vote on this measure. I could simply stand back from a safe distance, away from all the shrapnel that was flying, and observe. And I please give another hand to the men and women who made this day possible. Joe Simperman, Councilman Santiago, Matt Jones, Jay Westbrook, Yes, Mamie Mitchell. I was thinking as I was walking down the street toward the rally that, you know, I've got some good friends in the clergy who might not necessarily appreciate the fact that I stopped by. But then I look around and recognize that there are plenty other churches and synagogues that I could go to if worse comes to worse.
So we begin. And so I'll tell you a quick story of something that happened 3 years ago when Nora and I got married. We got married in her mom and dad's backyard by Judge Michael Donnelly. And we were joined by friends like Krista and Margot, friends like Patrick and Todd and Kevin and Brian and Brooke, all of whom had been in serious relationships far longer than she and I had. And I sat there as I took my vows and thought, why is it that Nora and I are here and they cannot be? Why is it that these people who could teach me about how to be a better man and a better husband and a better father and a better brother cannot be married, but I can? And so today we are dealing with something that some in the media call a symbol. But we all know in the history of our republic that a symbol becomes a signal and a signal becomes a certainty until justice becomes joy and joy becomes jubilation. And we heard today from the great rabbi about streams that start in the mountains. We need only look to the west. The Mississippi's mighty. It starts in Minnesota at a place that you could walk across 5 steps down. And yet that trickle becomes the river, and the river becomes the ocean. I want to say something to you today, and I don't want to say it over and over, but I will. People like Councilman Jay Westbrook, who has fought the fight for years before we had an audience like this to fight for. Jay is an inspiration and a human rights leader. I love you, Jay Westbrook, wherever you are. And I love you, Maine. And I love you, Vermont. And I love you, Connecticut. And I love you, Massachusetts. And I love you, Washington, D.C., and I love you, Iowa. But we are from the great state of Ohio, founded in 1803, as part of the Firelands and the Connecticut Western Reserve. We have an obligation to our brothers and sisters that are afraid to be here. So let us on the steps today in the symbol of what Cleveland is. Be there for them where they cannot be with us. Let us today make it so that when our sons and daughters and brothers and sisters come of our age, people are afraid to use words that denigrate people or judge people. Let us not just chase those feelings of hatred into the closet. Let us bury them in the ground where the graveyard is that they deserve to be. And our history and our past. So we come together today, it's May 7th. And tomorrow, God willing, May 8th and May 9th. People are going to come and get registered, and there's not going to be a crowd. And so it is, and so it should be. Equality today, equality tomorrow. And when someone asks me, is this just the beginning? Just remember, oh yes. We leave the hate in 08. We bring the love on in 09. God bless you all very much. Cleveland has never looked more God.